Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 10:20 in Honolulu, 4:20 in New York. It is Wednesday, 20th day of April 2016, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. After climbing to some highs up above 2060, we do have the market trading lower today, off about $7-8. I'm speaking, of course, about gold, currently trading at $1246.50, puts it down $7.80 on the day. The low has been $1244. The high has been $12.59, so we're just about $2 off the low on the day. The shining star is the silver shining star today. It is silver, just under $17 an ounce, $16.96 call it, trading up about 4 or 5 cents. Now it has traded to a high of $17.23, and the low on the day is right about where the market is currently trading at about $16.95. As I said, putting it up about 4 cents on the day. We'll take a look at a couple of gold charts as well as a silver chart, all on today's daily report. The precious metals did give up a lot of their gains. As I said, gold went negative, and a lot of what we saw in the beginning or morning session in trading of the precious metals was the fact that we had precious metals trading in sympathy with crude oil. We're looking at a crude oil chart right now, up almost 4% on the day, 42.63, up $1.55. You can see it in this single candle here. And in terms of the marketplace itself, 42 seems to be a pretty important number. If we draw a line across to get to that 42, what we can see is we have effectively closed above it on crude oil. If you take a look back in, call it the end of March into April, this being, of course, 2015, you can see where it was a price point that was extremely supportive. Other than that, as we go across our chart, the only other area was this one top, and this top, of course, was achieved back in March of this year. So we'll have to see what oil does, but I personally think it will trade within a range of about 44 on the high side, and the low side is still going to be at around 36. So I'm looking in terms of a sweet spot or a range where I think we'll see oil trading over the next couple of months. This is the range I would look forward to trade in. And that being said, I do believe we're at the upper end of the range, not the lower end of the range. So traders, we currently have gold off about $9 in COMEX, $1245.20. Now, the marketplace itself under pressure, primarily due to a U.S. dollar strength today. Selling in the market is nominal. Of this change that we're looking at, this $9 change, only a couple of dollars is due to selling in the market. And the primary reason for gold going down today is dollar strength. Now, with that in mind, I want to take a look at this chart that I've pulled up. It's in 1440, so it's a daily chart, and we have identified the overall characteristics right now in gold is one of a extremely narrowing range, and that of course is defined by a series of lower highs, and it's also defined by a series of higher lows. And so that's what gives you that narrowing range as well as a compression triangle. The market spiked up aggressively the other day, and as I said, I was looking during the evening here in Honolulu, and the market was trading right up near the top and just had gone over this particular resistance line here. And I really was debating as to whether or not to pull the trigger, so to speak, and initiate a buy signal. And my rationale was I needed to see the market close above this resistance line right in here for at least a day. And that would have absolutely triggered a buy signal. However, the fact that we have some weakness come into the market today, we might still be looking at the same type of count and scenario, which I am looking at as a compression triangle, wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. I now believe we've completed our wave 4. If we have a little bit more downside, I would look for the area in which it finds support at the bottom of this triangle and any signal whatsoever that we're bouncing off of that, because once that is clear, we should be able to see the market break above this former resistance. It's current resistance now, but I believe it will be former resistance. So with that in mind, this is the trade that I'm looking to implement. And you can do this on your own if you have any kind of charting system. I'll send out a special trade alert, obviously. But what we want to do is see this. Will this market trade a little bit lower here? Will it go to the bottom end and the support channel or support end of the triangle? And if so, we get long. This is really our confirming area right here is breaking above that, but we should have some opportunity to enter the trade on the V bounce that we might see at the conclusion of this wave 5 right here. So as far as silver goes, silver is currently trading up about a cent on the day. In fact, it's moving either to unchanged or negative territory. We are looking at a daily chart, and you can see the absolute high. Let's go ahead and kind of blow that up. When we take a look at the single candle right in here, let me get my pointer up. That's this candle here. We can see without a question of a doubt that we made a new high on the day, 17.20. This is $17 per ounce. And you can see that we have effectively traded below that point. And so my question is whether or not $17 will become a support area or maintain itself in terms of a resistance area. And really, to get a good answer to that, we really have to look at quite a larger data set, because when we bring into the picture where silver has been and take a look at these extreme highs at about 21, silver's been under enormous pressure, a lot more pressure than any of the other precious metals. Market's trading at 21, drops all the way to about 15 and attempts to find some support. So it then trades within a range, 15 on the low side, 18 on the high side. So you had this $3 range right in here, in which the market effectively traded. Then you got this lower high, and that came in at around 1750. And then from there, you went and made a lower low, and then a second lower low. And this is the lowest we've seen silver in quite some time at 1368. Since that point, we have seen it stage a recovery, and it has staged a recovery at the same time that we saw gold rallying, so that they went together. But we are getting this disconnect over the last couple of weeks between silver and gold, with a big play which had been made in silver. And so the real question is, will that carry on throughout the end of this week, beginning of next, or will we find some real resistance in silver at $17? And that's something we'll just have to wait for a little bit more data so that we can ascertain with a little bit more certainty whether or not this market will trade above 17 or find this as resistance. My sense is it will be a resistance area, but we'll have to see. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We will talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.